Hey everyone, today is Wednesday, September 1st. The time right now is 3:30 p.m. and I'm here in the St. Lawrence neighborhood in downtown Toronto. And there's a look to the east along Front Street East. And for this one, I'll be recreating one of the first ever narrated walks I did on this channel. Back on June 30th of last year, I started a walk in this very place, and I headed west along Front Street over to Spadina, and then I walked south down to Front Street and made my way over to Union Station. So I'll be taking that same route today. And there's a look at the Flatiron Building. And that was completed back in 1892. And a week ago today, I was checking out the Flatiron Building in New York City. I walked past that with Action Kid. That one is quite a bit taller than ours. I think it was built in 1902. And there's a look north up Church Street. And that walk I did back in June of last year was one of my first ever narrated walks I recorded on this channel. And I remember standing on the median there, trying to do my opening intro, and it took me several takes. And this is kind of interesting. This part of Wellington Street has sort of been paved over as if it's a road where the sidewalk would normally be. You don't normally see asphalt in place of the sidewalk. That's kind of weird. So this would be the eastern terminus of Wellington Street. And from here, I think over to Simcoe Street, which is on the other end of the financial district. It is a one-way street that runs west. And just to the south of here, Front Street, which runs parallel to Wellington, is a one-way street that runs east. Wellington does extend all the way over to the Liberty Village neighborhood. I think it ends at Strawn. And this is Berksy Park. There's a look at the backside of the Flatiron Building. And that is a mural that was painted back in 1998 by an artist by the name of Derek Besant. I think the idea is to give the appearance that the building is flapping around in the wind. So that would be Front Street East, just to the south here. There's the dog fountain. Before recording this, I did not rewatch that older video, so I might be curious to see what facts I regurgitate. I'm sure I'll say some of the same things. Maybe I'll contradict myself. So this is kind of the eastern edge of the financial district. And this is Scott Street. As you can see, the sidewalk is kind of a patchwork of bricks and asphalt. Maybe I'll cross over to the other side. Not sure what that car was doing. I thought he was waiting for that other guy to cross the street. Oh well. So if you know why this part of Wellington is paved over like this, perhaps you could fill me in the comments. I can't imagine this being permanent. And coming up is Yonge Street. That's the main east-west divide that runs north to south throughout the city. So once I'm on the other side, I'll be on Wellington Street West. That's the British Colonial Building. I did not know that was its name. It looks like Brookfield Place is undergoing some kind of extensive renovation. And there's the new CIBC Square Towers. Those would not have been completed the last time I was recording this walk.
Portuguese can get confused.
So the street to the north of this, which is King Street, is probably the second most major street that runs through the financial district, the other being Bay. There's Commerce Court North, with Scotia Plaza behind it, and the St. Regis just to the left, and Commerce Court West. And coming up is Bay Street. And it looks like IQ hasn't even bothered to reopen. That place is kind of expensive, but it would be serving the financial district. And there's the Walrus. That's a pretty neat pub. And here is Bay Street. So just to the south of here is Union Station, where I'll end up at the end of this walk. There's a look up north with Old City Hall off in the distance. And the RBC Towers. I probably talked about how those windows are covered in real gold the last time I walked through here. And the Mies van der Rohe designed TD Center. I don't think I saw the New York City equivalent of this while I was there, or if I did, I didn't realize it. Speaking of which, I did do a collaboration with Action Kid that you can find on his channel. And I have plans on Friday to meet up with a Toronto YouTuber. And we'll record a couple of videos together, one for my channel, one for his channel. So probably at some point this weekend or early next week, you can find those on our respective channels. And this is really kind of a perfect day to be out for a walk. There's a nice courtyard up there in the TD Center. And these trucks here are probably full of film equipment. It's very common for them to be filming movies in this area.
Starts getting dark at 8 o'clock. So I'll give us 6 hours.
There's a look north. That building in that crevice there is the former Trump Tower, now known as the St. Regis. And I believe that's a Marriott brand of hotel. It's also a luxury condo. And here is Yonge Street. I must have recorded hundreds of these narrated walks since I started doing them back in June last year. I did a few cycling videos before that were narrated. Looks like there's film crews set up all along York there. And with most offices still pretty much vacant, you have to wonder what the source of all this traffic is. I was up in World Trade Center 4 in Manhattan, and it was a similar story there. There's about 10 people on an entire floor in that office tower. And this would be University Avenue. Three lanes wide, but no room for a bike lane. There is a bike lane on University north of Queen. That's really kind of silly that this stretch isn't covered. Although I guess Simcoe Street, which is a block to the west, does have bike lanes. Still, it feels kind of ridiculous that University doesn't have them, at least not on this part. It's also known as Nelson Mandela Boulevard, according to that sign. And that glass building off to the south there is part of the South Core district. So this is the main financial district, but a whole new neighborhood has cropped up just south of the rail tracks. That's a mix of condos and office towers. There's Moxie's on the right. I've never noticed a beer town before. That is either new or I just haven't been very observant. Coming up is Simcoe Street, and just on the right will be Roy Thompson Hall, home to the Toronto Symphony Orchestra. And it looks like they've got Simcoe closed off to the south of here. The Ontario Teachers' Pension Plan is building a large high-rise right at Simcoe in front. I'm guessing that's what the closure is for. We'll get a look at that coming back the other way. There's Roy Thompson Hall. So on the other side of Roy Thompson Hall here is King Street, and that'll be the entertainment district. I'll cross over to the south side in a minute just to get out of the sun. And we've stumbled across a movie set, maybe. Let's take a look. There's Roy Thompson Hall.
And if you're good enough, you become a stylist, then those
So it looks like there's some kind of American protest being filmed here. And that horrible building that looks like one of the surrounding suburbs threw up one of their rejected City Hall designs is Metro Hall. That's a City of Toronto building that went up in '92. I'm guessing most of these extras here would be Canadians. There's a news van.
Everybody to one.
We're gonna be.
I'm just going to cut through Metro Hall here. All right, nothing seems to be going on. Can I go out this way over here? Either way, there's a neat look at the skyline. Just a part of the financial district that you can see. Would have been cool if I got to see more of the scene being filmed. All we got was someone saying "F you fascists." What would happen if a scene from their movie ended up in my video? I am in a public space. I don't really think there'd be any consequences of that. And there's the CBC headquarters. I think that was completed back in '92, right along with Metro Hall here. And just beside that is the Ritz-Carlton. There's some Blue Jay fans. I wonder if there's a game tonight in town. And this would be Yonge Street that I'm approaching. It looks like I'll have to stay on this side of the street. There's a lot of construction going on in front of the Toronto Hydro area there. I think that's Toronto Hydro. And straight to the south is the Toronto Sky Dome and the CN Tower right beside it. We can really just see the tip of it from here. And there used to be a Casada Mexican restaurant here, but I think they've closed. Used to be one of my go-tos before a Blue Jay game. But I guess with the Blue Jays not in town for quite a while, and the financial district mostly being vacant, a lot of these businesses would have had a lot of trouble staying open over the last year or so. All these trucks here are probably here for that film shoot I walked past earlier. And the whole area just to the south of here used to be parking for the longest time after they built the Sky Dome in '89. This would be one of the prime spots to drive downtown before a game and see, or grab a parking spot. That's all been filled in with buildings. I think there still might be a parking spot just ahead here. And once again, Wellington is a one-way street. So here's a fairly modern tower, and there's a proposal here for a 66-story building. That's quite common in the city. And coming up is Blue Jays Way, which used to be known as Peter Street, although north of King it still is Peter Street. It was renamed after the Jays won their first World Series. I think it was officially renamed in January of '93. And the eastern stretch of Bremner Boulevard was renamed Raptors Way after the Raptors won. And it goes without saying, I don't think there'll ever be a Maple Leaf Way in this city. And here's one of the last holdouts as far as parking is concerned. And this isn't very safe. And here's Parent Square. So I'll walk through the park here over to Spadina and head south down the front, and then head east over to Union. And Wellington Street kind of comes to a stop here at Spadina. Can't really drive through it, but it does resume on the other side. There's an off-leash zone for dogs, which does not seem to be utilized by anyone at the moment. So on the other side, over there, Wellington resumes. And here's Spadina Avenue. This goes south down to the lake, and then it'll head north up to Bloor, where it'll turn into Spadina Road. And you can grab the Spadina streetcar on what else but Spadina. That tower's new, and this LCBO is new. That used to be located a few blocks to the north of here at King and Spadina. Look at the CN Tower, and those first 4 towers there are the original City Place towers. And all these buildings over here are part of City Place. And they were built by a Vancouver-based developer known as Concord Attics. There used to be a driving range just on that corner over there. And now it's east on Front Street West. And I think my first walk, or the one I did a year ago, was about 49 minutes in total. Although I don't think I stopped to look at a film shoot. That's a pretty good deal. There's the CN Tower, and it looks like the roof at the Sky Dome is open. There's got to be a game there later today. Sometimes they have their getaway games on a weekday afternoon. And it's back to Blue Jays Way. My phone said it was 23, but it certainly feels a bit hotter than that. This is certainly a city where you find yourself craning your neck upwards quite a bit. Not as much as you would in New York, but still probably more than any other North American city.
Over time, you start to get
Although it's interesting how Manhattan doesn't really have any cranes going up. There's been some super talls going up on Billionaires Row just north of Central Park recently. Or I think maybe that's on the south side.
you don't have that option.
And here's one of those parking lots that is definitely an endangered species. And there's a number of attractions right over there. The CN Tower, Ripley's Aquarium, the Sky Dome, of course, Steam Whistle Brewery, the Rec Room, which is the large Dave and Buster style arcade and bar. There's the CBC Headquarters. When the Blue Jays first came back to town, I did a walk around the Sky Dome. It was kind of an exciting atmosphere that day. And there's the Metro Toronto Convention Center. And I know they're holding a big vaccine clinic there. I'm not sure if that's still the case. I remember watching one of Ken's videos, and that's where he went.
Okay. Oh.
There's a couple sitting with Glenn Gould, a famous Canadian pianist whose residence is an apartment building up on St. Clair Avenue West. And this building here is Simcoe Place. That does have a path connection. But before this recent building boom, this used to be the tallest building in the area.
I want to know the truth because I've been so great.
Whenever you look at the CN Tower in a picture, this would be the only other building that really stood out in the immediate vicinity. I think it's around 500 feet tall. It's been joined by that new RBC Tower and the Ritz. And of course, there's all the City Place towers that have popped up right around the dome. And there's a memorial. And WSIB is the workplace safety, I'm not sure the word, I'm trying to think of, body that ensures there's a safe working environment in the province. And here's Lower Simcoe coming up. So I'm just a couple of blocks away from Union Station. There's Scatabush. I think I'll have to cross over to the south side of front here. Maybe I can make this light. Well, it turns out I didn't have to cross. I could have walked right by the construction site there. And there's a proposal to put a 52-story building on this block. So after this video, I'll head home and figure out some dinner plans. 10 cents. Does anyone have a dime in their pocket anymore? I only needed cash once for my entire trip in New York City.
Asking that question to people down there.
And that was to buy some 99-cent pizza right across from the Chrysler Building. And this is York Street. On the left there is the foot of University Avenue. And yeah, there's definitely going to be a Blue Jay game tonight. It's rare to see this place busy these days. And it's a bit crowded along here. There's Union Station. which I think opened in 1927. It was neat checking out Grand Central and Penn Station in Manhattan. Union certainly feels a bit smaller in scale compared to those. All right, so I'm going to throw my mask on and head down into the subway portion of the station and hop on the northbound Yonge Street side of Line 1. I gotta see where I put my mask first. Take a view of the CN Tower while I fish around in my pockets. Ah, there we go. Just trying to fish out my wallet. It is the first day of the month, and this morning I loaded a fresh monthly transit pass onto my card to the tune of $156. What do you know, the train is rolling in. All right, I hope you enjoyed this walk along Wellington and Front. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support the channel, there are links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership in the description. And I also have an Instagram account.
Line 1, fourth page. Please stand clear of the doors.
All right, thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.